So as I mentioned in the last video, we can connect to lots of different types of database servers. And if you head over to this page on the PHP manual, you'll basically see a list of drivers that are supported by PDO. And they implement the PDO interface, which allow us to use the same functionality within PDO to connect to any of these different servers. So you're more than likely going to be using MySQL here. It's just obviously the most popular choice, but you may be using something else as well. So over on this page here, what we can actually do is we can click on one to find out more information about how to install it. And we'll be looking in just a moment at the current available drivers on our installation. So for example, say we wanted to go ahead and use Firebird, we can click this and it actually gives you installation instructions here. So you can go ahead and install any of these that you might need, depending on your needs. We're going to be sticking with MySQL in this series, which should automatically be installed with your PHP installation. So let's take a look at the list of our drivers available. So I have no code in here at all at the moment. And what we're going to be doing now is interacting with the PDO class, and we have a static method which allows us to pull this information in. And we'll see a lot of static methods a bit later on. We'll also see objects being created. But for now, this is just a very simple way to find a list of drivers that we have available. So I'm using var dump, which will just dump out the contents of what we get back from this method, what's returned. And in this case, it's PDO, so that's our class name. And then we use the scope resolution operator. This allows us to access a static method. And this method is called get available drivers. So let's see the result of this. Let's see what's returned from here. Obviously, this will collect up all of the drivers that we have available, and it will dump them just here. So you can see we've got an array of 3 items. The first is MySQL, the second is SQLite, and then we've got PGSQL. So we've got 3 available here. If the one here, when you output this command, isn't listed, the one that you want to use, you'll want to go back to here and follow the instructions to go ahead and install that before we carry on. But I'm going to be using MySQL. I can see that it's installed here. So we can go ahead and actually start to get going with working with MySQL. So that's how we find the list of available drivers. Next, what we're going to do is just prepare our database table within our MySQL server, just so we can start working with this data in later parts. And we're going to be creating a users table with lots of different columns that allow us to do all sorts of interesting things with a kind of user table that would store perhaps users that have registered on our website. So let's jump over to the next part where we set up that table.